Hello, and welcome to another Tuesday segment of Everyday Enlightenment. I'm Kruthi Yeager, and I was asked to share about the soul today. Your soul self by my soul self. So that's what we're going to do. First, kind of important to establish that you have a soul. I hope everybody is on board with this because your soul self is the greater consciousness that is the most loving, the most brilliant, the most beautiful, the most kind, the most compassionate, the most radiant, the most omnipotent version of you. And this version exists in another frequency, in a higher dimension. It's the version of you that you can't see with your physical eyes, but you can definitely tap into the energy of it with your clairsenses, or for some people during their dream time. So before your brain cramps, just know that you don't know what you don't know, right? So if this is totally new to you or it sounds crazy, just try this on for a couple minutes, okay? And know that the five senses that we are accustomed to using and working with every day only operate in a very small window of information that is available to us. And there is so much more going on around you and inside of you than you're actually aware of. And, well, for example, take a dog whistle. So if you have a dog whistle, you go to blow the dog whistle and your dog hears it. And it's obvious that the dog hears it very clearly and responds to it. Your human ears, however, can't hear it because it is outside of your human auditory range. It's outside of your umwelt. And if you don't know what an umwelt is, go watch my last video where I talk about that. Kind of will give you a broader perspective for this. So all that to say is that you are not aware of a lot of the data and a lot of the information that is around you 24/7. So allow yourself to have an open mind about what possibly could be in those spaces all the time around you. And one of the things that is present in the spaces around you is your soul self, part of your soul, the energy of your soul. And one of the best explanations I've heard about how to better understand how you, the you that is watching this now, relates to this abstract idea of soul was shared with me by a light worker by the name of Aluna K. And one of the ways she explains it is that the you that you know yourself as is an aspect of your soul consciousness and spirit incarnated in a human body. And, for a minute, imagine that your soul, this larger aspect of yourself, is a crystal. Okay? So imagine that the larger aspect of you is a crystal. And imagine if that crystal is dropped and a small shard breaks off of that crystal, right? And this shard is still a crystal, right? It still represents the larger main crystal. However, it's out here over on the side, having its own experience, doing its own thing. But at some point, this shard will and can be placed back or melted back onto this main crystal later. So it becomes, once again, part of the main crystal, but with more knowledge from its experience as an individual crystal going through its own motions, right? So the you that you know right now watching this video is currently an aspect or a shard of your soul. Your soul is the main crystal, but you and it are actually one and the same. I love this analogy, by the way. So think of your soul self. Your soul self is slightly different than your higher self. Although they can be the same, there is some crossover there, but you have one soul versus you can have multiple higher selves. So that's kind of like a separate video. If you want me to do one, I will. So let me know in the comments. But some people can have different views on this, but this has been my experience. So I'm sharing with you what I know to be true for me. So if you want to get to know your soul self a little better, about the larger aspect of you, make it an intention and call it in. So to do that, I would definitely recommend that you need to be spending time in stillness or in meditation, whatever that looks like to you, because oftentimes the energy is so subtle. So finding a quiet place to just open up all of your senses is really important. And then clear your aura, clear the space around you, ground down to the earth, ground up to the heavens, open up your crown chakra and call in your soul from your heart. And then notice what you notice. Because I was doing this morning and it, excuse me, it just feels so nourishing and so loving. It's just such a wonderful experience to kind of like get into and connect more intentionally to that part of yourself that you can connect to, that you're connected to all the time, every day. But to do it with intention is kind of a different experience. So just don't forget that you are bigger and more expansive than you think you are. And consciousness is expanding. People are waking up. Maybe you're waking up, which if you are, welcome. It's an exciting time to be on Earth. We are here, the Great Awakening. And thank you for adding your light to what's going on. So know that there is so much love here for you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week.